Hello guys, it's Darksigner here from the German Duel Masters channel and welcome back to another duel video. So today I got the first semi-final from our third IDC tournament, and you have the players Anirbanx on the top playing against Solomon at the bottom. Anirbanx is on an Armorloid Manaburn deck, and Solomon is playing a light water nature aggro deck. So we are already in action here because we had issues with the recording, so we didn't catch the start of the match, but both players started with a 2-drop. So Smash Voyage Duck Randu and Quixotic Hero Swinesnout. So Solomon's goal in this matchup is to attack as fast as possible and win the game as early as possible, while Anirbanx wants to drag the game for so long that he can stabilize and start burning his opponent's mana. So both players with good starts respectively. Both players could play a creature on every turn of the game. So let's see if Solomon decides to go in here, because the opponent has the same amount of creatures on board. So here we just quickly checked up the rulings we had for this tournament for taking back plays. So we agreed on that if you tap mana you can still undo it and tap something else, but as soon as you commit to a play, like play a creature or play a spell, it's over. You can't change the mana you tapped for that at that point. But as he didn't play anything yet, he could undo that. And he goes in with Bronze Tribe. That's going to be killed next turn. And he breaks into a Zombie Carnival, which only gets one card back, the Smash Warrior that died earlier. So yeah, let's see. Anirbanx has all the hand advantage, but doesn't have enough mana to play all his cards, while Solomon is already at 7 mana. So great start from Solomon. Mana burn doesn't really affect him at this point, as he basically needs only 6 mana to play his crucial cards like Craze Valkyrie. So he's not really in danger of getting mana burned. And yeah, the Ice Vapor doesn't really do too much. It's just a 1k vanilla body, because I don't think Solomon plays too many spells in his deck. I think it's mostly creatures. And yeah, the Bronze Tribe gets killed. Goes in with the Hourglass Mutant, as he values his Smash Warrior, Simian Warrior Grash more. Doesn't want it to be traded away with Magris. But if Solomon has the Craze, the other 2 creatures get tapped as well, so doesn't really make any difference. But I don't know if Solomon has it already. Yeah, tap 6 mana, and that looks like a Craze Valkyrie. He plays it and goes in to kill Hourglass Mutant first, so this the Slay ability is gone. And now he kills the Grush, so he doesn't lose his Craze Valkyrie, only loses 1 mana to Grush. That's perfectly fine at this stage of the game to lose 1 mana. Anirbanx probably can only play 1 card at a time per turn. So I think Solomon is in a very good position. Maybe we see a Terror Pit now for the Craze. It's only 4 mana, so Rothus. That gets rid of Magris, of course. You don't give up the Craze in this situation. And taps 5 mana again. So he plays another Sky Sword. Building up shields isn't really that important in this matchup, but building up the mana is. So it's nice that you have the evolution bait in Sky Sword, and also ramp your mana so you don't get mana burned by the Armorloid deck. And yeah, if Anirbanx doesn't find an out this turn, it could be game over as soon as next turn. And he plays Tanzanite, which isn't really good. It only answers the Crazy Valkyrie next turn. So Solomon is just going to attempt to go for game here and hope that his opponent doesn't have a shield trigger. And yeah, the coral, that's nice, spinning back the Tanzanite that seals the game. And so Solomon takes game 1. He's in the lead at this point. And yeah, here he does a move I don't really think you should do at a tournament. If you're a newer player or didn't play too many tournaments yet, don't reveal your shields to your opponent after game 1 or even game 2 if you go into game 3. You can do that in the final game. If the match is decided, you can go look at your shields, what was in there, but don't do that between games, because your opponent might get valuable information about your deck, what you're playing, and how many cards of how many copies of a card you're playing. So yeah, you should really keep as much information for yourself as possible, so the opponent doesn't know on what he has to play around and what he can play and don't be punished. So yeah, just a tip from me personally. And yeah, both players starting again with turn 2 and turn 3 plays respectively. Anirbanx discarded the Crazy Valkyrie, which is a really nice hit with the Cloned Nightmare. And he follows it up with a second Cloned Nightmare right away, but now he hits the Archie out of the hand, which is not that great. Technically he has the answer on board with Smash Warrior Stagrandu, but Solomon has the Sarius, luckily, to block the attack, so his Archie survives. But the Sarius dies because Stagrandu gets his boost even though it doesn't attack the initial target anymore. If you didn't know that, I recently learned about that ruling. I didn't know that for too long, so that's nice to know. And again, Zombie Carnival for 1, only retrieving the Smash Warrior. But now Solomon is already in a great position with the Archie, because Anirbanx has to get rid of the double breaker and can't do so reliably with 5 mana. If he had 6 mana this turn, he could just play Terror Pit. But as his only removal option at this point is Rothus the Traveler, Solomon can just get rid of his Aqua Hulkus. And Anirbanx discards the final card out of Solomon's hand, which was a Petrova. That's a nice hit. And Solomon draws an Aqua Hulkus. That's a really good top deck. And unfortunately, Anirbanx doesn't seem to have any triggers. And this game is pretty much over, because I don't see him removing both Aqua Hulkus with 6 mana unless he's on something like Mecha Dragon's Breath. This could keep him in this game, but like Blizzard of Spears doesn't do anything because the Archie would survive. And yeah, I think this game is over. He plays a Rothus, I think, just for the heck of it. Yeah, he does, but yeah, that's game over. So he clears the Archie, but Hulkus just goes for game. And yeah, Solomon takes a swift 2-0 in this semi-finals matchup. I hope you guys enjoyed the match, and see you at another duel video.